What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we have the Chelsea vs Aston Villa preview. First game off the international break, so it's been like, what, 2 weeks without a match, which I think is beneficial for Chelsea in many ways, so they don't lose any more games. Although there was a decent streak before that, but that Everton game, the last game we played, was pretty disappointing. Some interesting things coming out in the international break. A lot of our players actually came back early because they were injured. Fofana didn't even go, and he's not playing in this next game. Reece James was injured and he didn't play for England, and then he came back, but apparently he's fit. Obviously, Silva was injured. Apparently, Pulisic is ill. Sterling didn't end up going to the going either. So yeah, at least most of our players came back unscathed. I think Havertz even came back early as well. So a lot of people, maybe they want to play for the club, maybe they want to make sure they're fit for the Real Madrid game. But there's a few big games that are coming before Real Madrid, and this is one of them. Not too much to talk about, to be fair, for this game. It's kind of one of those games where if you win, you're in what I think Chelsea will be in ninth, and they can kind of move up the table a little bit. But if they lose, I think they'll be 11th. Because Aston Villa are on either the same points or like 1 point behind us right now. Because they've had a pretty good streak coming into this, actually. If you go look at Aston Villa's recent games, I think they've won 3 of their last 4 or something like that. They beat Bournemouth last time, I think. Pretty good side. I think they're doing well under Emery. Emery's obviously a good manager. I think it's important for Chelsea to start building confidence and win this game because, bro, that Everton game, we were way better than them. We somehow dropped points. This is one of those games where, bro, if you don't win this, I don't know what to say. So this is the lineup I've gone for. These players up here are unavailable, so there'll be no Fofana, there'll be no Sterling. Sterling will play against Liverpool, I think, is what Grandpa said. Azpilicueta still no. Silva's still injured, and Pulisic is sick, I think. Mason Mount is on the bench, so he won't start, so that's why he's not here. These three, I think, should be within a shout to start, and this is the team I think Grandpa is going to play. I don't think maybe this is necessarily the best team, but I think this is the team he'll go with. Obviously, Kepa at this point, he's the only goalkeeper we have. I think Mendy's in training, but I don't know what the status is on that. And he wasn't really fancied before anyway, so Kepa's going to be in goal. Reece James will be right wing back. And then it's interesting to see what will happen with a back three, because I think he put Badiashile in against Everton just because he wanted that height from corners and stuff. Didn't really help, did it? Aston Villa have Buendia, Leon Bailey. Watkins isn't the biggest guy, so maybe he'll go with Cucurella to, a solid 1v1 defender in terms of because he's smaller and maybe a little bit quicker. Although I think Badiashile could fit perfectly in there as well. Maybe wants to be a bit more attacking on that side. Chilwell will definitely play left wing back, obviously. Enzo will definitely start. The other one I have a question is Kovacic. Obviously had a good game against Turkey, which is disappointing for me. He scored 2 goals against them. N'Golo Kante, I heard he played a friendly. He's been looking good in the training videos, but everyone does. Should Kante maybe get minutes? I think he's probably in the Mason Mount camp where he'll come on at some point. Hopefully. Surely Kante has to get some minutes. I want to see Kante on the pitch. Obviously, they have to be careful with him, but I want to see him on the pitch. João Felix and Havertz are definitely going to start at this point. That's a foregone conclusion. Mudryk didn't look great against England, did he? But, well, I didn't really watch the whole game because international football is boring. But Mudryk is probably the main man. He's probably going to play through the middle. I think it works well. And obviously, with Pulisic being sick and Sterling not being here, he's got to be the first choice. Unless, maybe Aubameyang will be involved. I don't think Aubameyang will play. That Fofana isn't going to play. So unless Hakim Ziyech somehow gets put back into the fold, I don't know. I would maybe like to see Madueke though, because he had a really good game against under-21 France. So it'd be nice to see him. But I think overall Grandpa is probably going to go stick with the three at the back and go with this team. This is kind of the team that's been doing well and on form. So yeah, with just Chalobah replacing Fofana, I think that's probably what's going to happen. In terms of Aston Villa, they've been on a pretty good run. They are a pretty good team. They've got some very bright attacking players like Leon Bailey. He can do a lot. He can score wonder goals. I've seen him score quite a few bangers since he's joined. Maybe not reached the potential he once had, because there was a time where he was linked to Liverpool, Chelsea, ended up at Aston Villa. I think he's a decent player. His right side is always very dangerous with Matty Cash and Leon Bailey. Jacob Ramsey's a very dangerous player. Louise and McGinn will run all day, and Douglas Luiz has that kind of quality. Where Aston Villa have always lacked for me is their centre backs. Like, you can get Tyrone Mings, bro. Tyrone Mings is one of the worst Premier League centre backs in my opinion. But yeah, Cons is alright, but Tyrone Mings is really bad. Moreno's obviously new to the league, not the most settled. What are the keys for this game? What do Chelsea need to do to win this game? Well, first and foremost, you need to score some goals. We've still struggled to score goals, even though we create chances. I think we've seen a bit more of a chemistry starting to build up with Kai Havertz, João Felix, Enzo, Ben Chilwell. They've all looked very good going forward. I still like to see a bit more from Reece. I feel like Reece has been recovering from that injury slowly but surely. Usually he's the best player on the team. I think he's looked a bit like a shadow of himself in recent games. It's not been terrible, but I think he's been struggling a little bit, and he's still got a few injuries, so that's unfortunate. I just think Chelsea need to win this game. I don't know if they'll end up pushing on up the table, but it's Aston Villa. You don't want to end being 11th and then playing Liverpool. I think this is a very winnable game at home. Chelsea have a pretty good record against Aston Villa, if I remember correctly. So, in terms of a score prediction, I'll go with 2-1 Chelsea. I think we don't keep that many clean sheets when we need to. So I feel like we'll go like 2-0 up, they'll score a goal, and it'll be dangerous. But, we always have the trusty Conor Gallagher substitution to shore it up, right? But hopefully there's no manager blunders this time. He's not making the wrong subs. Koulibaly is stable, you know what I mean? And hopefully we just get the win. That's all we need, the win here. Important to start the month off right, to keep that good karma, because we got Liverpool to play, then we got Real Madrid and stuff like that. So, yeah, big game. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next